Hi folks, HR Funk here. Out on the range again with another one of my challenge videos in my series on law enforcement firearms qualification courses. Now if you saw my last video, you know in that one I took on the Nebraska Law Enforcement Rifle Qualification course with my trusty FAR-15A1 rifle. Well, in today's video I'm going to be looking at the Nebraska Handgun Qualification course, and the same gentleman who sent me the course description and targets for the rifle qualification also sent me the course description and a couple of qualification targets for the law enforcement handgun qualification course. Now, in looking through that course description, it makes references to loading magazines and starting each stage with X number of rounds in your magazine, but I think I can pull it off with a good wheel gun. So I'm going to be shooting this course today with my 4-inch Model 686 Smith & Wesson revolver. The Nebraska Handgun Qualification course requires the shooter to fire 50 rounds, and it's divided into 5 stages of fire. The course begins at a distance of 3 yards from the target, and as it progresses from stage to stage, moves back to an ultimate distance of 15 yards from the target. Each stage of the course is timed, and I'm going to be keeping track of that once again with my shot timer to make sure I come in under all the time limits. And once again, just as I've done in the videos in the past, I'm going to be explaining each stage of fire before I shoot it so you know what you're about to see. And here we go, folks. The first stage of fire starts out 3 yards from the target. On the signal to fire, I draw and put 1 round on the target on the right, then 2 rounds on the target on the left, and then 1 more round on the target on the right, all in a time limit of 5 seconds. The next stage of the course also takes place at a distance of 3 yards from the target, but this time on the signal to fire, I'll put 1 shot on each target, then perform a mandatory reload, and then put 1 more shot on each target in a time limit of 15 seconds. Now here I have a confession to make. I brought the wrong speed loader with me today. I accidentally grabbed a K-frame speed loader instead of an L-frame speed loader. So I'm going to have to fumble my way through a reload with the wrong speed loader and still try to get in within this time limit of 15 seconds. Let's see how it goes. And as you might have noticed, that reload did not go well at all, but I managed to improvise and overcome, and I did get 2 rounds into the revolver, managed to put 1 more on each target within the time limit, so I'm still in the running to qualify. Fortunately, I only have 1 more stage that requires a reload in this course. And the next stage is identical to the first stage. I put 1 round in the target on the right, 2 rounds in the target on the left, and then 1 more round in the target on the right in a time limit of 5 seconds. And on to the next stage. This time I'm back to a distance of 5 yards from the target, and I'm going to have 5 seconds to put 2 rounds on each target. Oh! I think the timer got me that time. Had 1 shot go over time. And I'm still at 5 yards from the target. This time, I have another reload. What I'm going to do is have 15 seconds to put 1 round on each target, reload, and then put 1 more round on each target. Now, I'm not going to fool with that speed loader this time. When I fire my first 2 rounds and reload, I'm just going to reload 2 rounds by hand, get back up on target, and get those on target, and then I'll move on to the next stage. And that's what happens when you don't get them in there right. And I'm up to the last drill from 5 yards. This time, just like I did at 3 yards, I'm going to put 1 round on the target on the right, 2 rounds on the target on the left, and then 1 more round in the target on the right in a time limit of 5 seconds. And I've now moved back to a distance of 7 yards from the target. In this next stage, I have a time limit of 8 seconds to put 3 rounds on each target. And now I repeat that exact same exercise one more time. Folks, I've now moved back to a distance of 10 yards from the target, and from here, once again, I shoot the exact same exercise 2 times in a row. That exercise requires me to put 2 rounds on each target in a time limit of 6 seconds. So here we go. And I've now arrived back at a distance of 15 yards from the target. From here, I again fire 2 stages. Both of them are essentially the same. The first time through, on the signal to fire, I drop into a kneeling position and I put 2 rounds on each target in a time limit of 8 seconds. Then, the second time I shoot it, I have a 5-second time limit to drop into a kneeling position and put 1 round on each target. So stand by while I give it a try. Folks, you might have noted on that stage that I started into my position a little bit early. The reason being, with my hearing protection on, I thought I heard my timer beep, and apparently I didn't. Now, under Nebraska rules, I don't know if there's any kind of a penalty for starting early or not, but if so, somebody will have to let me know what the penalty is. And final exercise. This time, on the signal to fire, I drop into a kneeling position and put 1 shot on each target in a time limit of 5 seconds. And here's the tail of the targets, folks. In order for the shots to count as hits, they have to be in this white area of the target, and all 50 of my shots are well within that area. This one tried to make it out, but it's still inside there. So I did have 1 shot that exceeded the time limit, so I would deduct that one. And as I would score this, that is a score of 98%. As the instructions for the course say, in order to pass the course, the shooter is required to have a score of 70%, although Matthew, who sent me this course, said his department requires 80% to pass. In any regard, as I said, I believe this is a 98% score. And again, if there's a penalty for that 1 stage where I started into position too quickly, somebody will have to let me know and I'll deduct that. But I think I'm still going to be well within the qualification standards for the state of Nebraska. And that's pretty much going to wrap things up, folks, for this challenge video of the Nebraska Law Enforcement Handgun Qualification course and my Smith & Wesson Model 686. Now, I've got to tell you, I'm really enjoying making these videos, and if those of you out there who are law enforcement firearms instructors have access to your state's qualification course, and particularly if you can get me the course and a couple of targets, I would like to shoot a qualification course from all of the 50 states. I don't know of anyone who's ever done that before. I would like to be the first, and I think it would be very interesting to see what the different states emphasize in their qualification standards and how the different courses contrast with each other. So if you're interested in sending me your course, hit me up in the comments section and I'll give you some information on where to send that material to, and sooner or later you'll see your state's qualification course in one of my videos. And there's the music, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, as always, forward those to me. And until next time, hopefully with the right speed loader, good shooting. Bye-bye.